My name is Emina. I have been at Bryan for almost 6 months now. I'm a registered nurse, bedside nurse. We had a Bosnian patient who was very hard of hearing and just did not really communicate very well in English at all.
He was confused at times, also very hard of hearing. And it made it extremely difficult for both the patient and staff because we weren't able to use our traditional language line because he couldn't hear it. So that was frustrating for him and scary for him, and frustrating for staff because he would get upset and we didn't know why. We were nervous about acquiring this patient who has a history of assaultive behavior and who is difficult to communicate with. But because Emina was here and was able to talk to the patient, it made all the difference.
My family is from Bosnia, so I kind of grew up speaking Bosnian here and there. I speak it pretty fluently. I just felt like it was just really important that I could be that second person for him to clarify everything that was going on, because he didn't understand, and it wasn't fair to him and it wasn't fair to the nurses that were taking care of him on a different floor to, not be able to express their needs of what they needed from him or vice versa. I just thought it was really important for him to be here because someone got to be like that holding hand for him.
When they were going to transfer him to our unit, she had floated to another unit that he was on, and she met him there. And then when she saw him come up in our queue, she said, "We need to have him on our unit. We will take excellent care of him, and he needs to be here with us." And she advocated for him. It truly was the best thing for him.
The patient was happy, comfortable, understood what was going on, and Emina could translate for us. Emina works 3 days a week, so she's not here every day, but every day he would write down, "Emina?" And he would ask, "Emina?" And he realized that finally that she wasn't here every day. But the days that she was here, it was so helpful, just in basic cares, but also in rounding with providers. We had a couple incidences in the middle of the night where the patient was hallucinating. He became very agitated and aggressive, and it was hard to get him to calm down or to know what was going on with him. And one night, it was actually about 1 o'clock in the morning, and staff didn't even realize that Emina was on vacation. And they had messaged her and said, "Hey, are you available?" And she took a phone call, an hour phone call with the patient, and was able to get him to calm down and to understand what was going on. When he did finally was able to leave the hospital, she went out to, there's a local Bosnian store here, and she got some foods, some Bosnian foods for him, and put a care package together because he was going to be going somewhere unfamiliar. And so she wanted him to have some things that would bring him comfort. When she gave it to him, several of us were in there. She was speaking to him, and then she would translate back to us what he said. And he said, "I'm not crying, my eye is just wet," and it was very sweet.
It was honestly really emotional, kind of. So he was here for a really long time, and you grow a connection with all your patients. We have the opportunity to not just learn them from like a medical standpoint, but what their life looks like outside of the hospital. And for him, it was different. Like, he had family here, but he's gone through so much in his life that he almost felt kind of alone, and he almost needed like that friend. You could tell that he was like striving for someone to show him that kind of care and, to be able to communicate with him on a different level.
You can't replace that comfort for that patient. Just very touching.
It's important really to advocate for the patient and to figure out what it is that they need, help them to understand.
They're still a person, and you just have to stop, listen, and make a connection.
Like I said, even though it was anxiety-provoking for us to get this patient, in the end, it was really the best thing for the patient. And everybody was hugging and almost crying when he left because we really established a relationship with this patient.
Just to also see the relationships that were, grown even from the staff members on this floor that weren't able to communicate. They found ways to make it happen. And when he discharged, it was really nice knowing that we've made like an end goal for him.